And now to a conversation, maybe this is actually a nice segue about the era of artificial intelligence, given everything that's going on and what this all means for kids and the way they learn. We talk a lot about this on the broadcast, but now we're talking to an expert about it. Jenny Anderson, she's the co-author of the Engaged Teen, helping kids learn better, feel better, and live better. She recently co-wrote an op-ed in the New York Times titled, "Parents, Your Job Has Changed in the AI Era." So we all thought we had a certain job, and I keep trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with my children and what my children are supposed to learn. And so the question, Jenny, is what are we supposed to do?
Andrew, great to see you. Okay, what do we need to do? We need to get better at critical thinking. You guys are doing some good critical thinking here on the show, analyzing these mergers, right? We need to get better at paying attention and not toggling between a million things. And we need to get better at human relationships, and that's what we need to be designing for. What I'm really worried about with AI, and we talk about this in the op-ed in the New York Times, is sort of cognitive offloading and emotional manipulation of kids. So cognitive offloading, we use tech because it makes everything easier for us. Well, guess what? That is where learning happens. Struggle is where learning happens. The F word in Silicon Valley is friction. They want to get rid of it. Well, guess what? Friction is literally where kids learn. So we really need to protect that in the design here. We cannot be giving them the answers, or they will not develop the capacity to come up with the answers themselves.
So Jenny, I got one for you.
We need to be, yep.
I got one for you. Okay, I got three kids. I think you know my kids, maybe, but
I do.
They are now in high school. Two of them are in high school. Yeah. And part of what the school is doing is saying that you have to now write down physically with your hand all your papers. So there is, because they don't want you using computers. And I can't figure out if that is a good thing or a bad thing. There's part of me that thinks it's a great thing because you need to be able to figure it out yourself. And there's part of me that thinks in this new era where everybody's going to use AI anyway, they're not going to be learning how to do that.
Andrew, you should be thanking your school 100%, because your kids will learn how to use AI. My guess is your kids actually know how to use AI. You can ask them to show you how to use AI, and they will probably be better at it than you will. So don't worry about that. What they may be losing the capacity to do, and all data is showing this, is we are losing our capacity to think critically, to do math, to read, and to do science. So our critical thinking capacities are falling. They have been since 2010. And so sitting down with a blank piece of paper and writing is really important.
Penmanship.
That is the process of thinking.
What do you think, though, of the idea that kids are now not just talking to their friends about different ideas and maybe their parents, but talking to AI, talking to bots?
So I'm of the general rule that, having witnessed what happened with social media, I don't really trust Silicon Valley to have my children's best interests at heart. Since sort of widespread use of social media, everything good has gone down. So loneliness is up. Test scores are down. Unhappiness is up. Mental health problems are up. Ability to disagree is down. So I don't think we've done a good job in designing the products thus far for the things we need to do, which is struggle in learning good stuff. Knowledge actually does still matter, and actually develop good human relationships. So I don't trust AI to do this. I do think it can be used really effectively. I trust schools to be putting in place some of the ways to do this. You need guardrails around curriculum to be designing products that interrogate, that deepen your learning, that find the holes in your learning, and then get you better at that stuff. It can do that stuff when well designed, but I don't think the incentives are in the right place for the business models.
I don't know how much you know about it. In New York City, it's actually just opened. Bill Ackman's been a big advocate of it. It's called the Alpha School. There's one in Austin and a couple other places in the country where AI is a huge component. A huge component. It is the component. It is how they are teaching kids. And the idea is that if you're a young boy who's 9 years old and you love basketball and Marvel comics, but you don't like to read, they will create effectively books and things for you to read that somehow combine basketball and Marvel comics, and the idea, and at grade level, and they will keep, moving it higher and higher and higher to try to get you to be more and more engaged. Do you look at that and say that's innovation and that's fabulous, or do you say these kids need to ultimately read Catcher in the Rye?
So I think they can do both. I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So I know the Alpha School model pretty well. And I think, listen, innovation in education is welcome. We absolutely need it. It is really one of the last bastions where we're not seeing it. So well done on them for coming up with a new model They think they can get all the learning into 2 hours on a screen, and then they can do all the life skills in the afternoon. I'm all for models. It's a private school model, so people can sign up for that. Look at Gwinnett County Public Schools. They are infusing AI across the curriculum in a very ethical and structured way. They're looking at, in a public school system, how can you use AI to teach kids to understand it, understand the model of it. It's not a human, and it is built by humans, and it is, prompt engineered to design with it, to manage it so that you can manage your bots. You're going to be managing multiple bots in the future, so it's going to teach you how to do that. So I think there is 100% a place for this. Alpha schools is definitely a very particular model. I visited a ton of schools where kids spend a lot of time in front of a computer, and I think they miss out on something in that. But I haven't been to alpha schools, so I don't want to speak to it, and I'm super excited about innovation in schools. But as a parent, what I want to protect for is I want my kids doing a lot of in-person, a lot of a lot of human stuff, and then I want them doing some really good learning. And by the way, learning is social. I want them doing some of that learning with teachers. And I'd have to learn more. I'd have to be in that classroom to know how much of that is happening. I know they say they've got their guides there to do that. But I would look at Gwinnett County Public Schools for a scaled system that is really thoughtfully infusing AI into everything they're doing and not charging $40,000 a year for it.
Trying to engage the teen. The book is called The Disengaged Teen. Thank you, Jenny. It's great to see you.